Hey guys, my name is Caleb Lewis. I'm from New York in the US, and today I'm going to show you the different interfaces for 4 different synthesizers. Now before I do that, I'm going to go back to the little diagram that we saw earlier this week. Now, it seems that every synthesizer has 5 components: an oscillator, filter, amplifier, LFO, and envelope. So we'll be looking for those 5 parameters when we actually go into the synthesizers. So the first one I'm going to look at is the ES1 from Logic. As you can see, the oscillator is right here. You can see the different waveforms and stuff, so that's a nice way to identify where the oscillator is. The filter shows you where you can boost or cut or add drive. The amplifier will tell you how to change the levels or the volume, while the low frequency oscillator, the LFO, will most likely be at the bottom left corner, while the envelope is on the bottom right corner, showing you your attack, your decay, your sustain, and your release. Now let's see how that fares up with a different synthesizer. How about the ES2? Around the same thing. Oscillator over here goes into the filter, goes into the amplifier. Now this amplifier doesn't have a pan knob, but it still changes the dynamics of the volume. We have our LFO on our bottom left corner and our envelope on our bottom right corner. Now I'm going to look at a synthesizer that's not native to Logic. I'm going to look at Native Instruments Massive. Now things are a little bit different over here. You don't exactly see the waveforms of the oscillator, but the oscillator is right here and the filter is still right here. But over here you can actually change what dynamics you want to change in terms of low pass, high band pass, low band pass. The amplifier is over here along with the pan knob, and the envelope and the LFO don't seem to be at the bottom left and right corners. But if you look over here in global, you can see that the envelopes for the different oscillators are actually right here with your attack, your decay, your release, whatever have you. And the LFO is over here. So it's not always at the bottom left or the bottom right, but it is within the synthesizer. And the last one I'm going to show you is another Native Instruments synthesizer called FM8. Now this one, at first we don't see the parameters that we're looking for at all in terms of the oscillator and the filter, amp, the envelope, LFO. And that's because at first you'll see the browser with different presets that are in the synthesizer, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have the parameters we spoke about before. It just means it's in a different location. So if I go down to Easy Morph, I'll start to see some of the parameters that we're looking for, like the envelope for the timbre and the amplitude. We see the LFO. We see the output or the amp, but for some reason I don't see the oscillator itself. That's because that's in another location. And now you can see the waveforms, the ratios, and you can change that around however which way you want. So even though most of the synthesizers were a certain way, kind of like what we see in this diagram, sometimes it's not the way this diagram is shown at all. But it's always there. It's always within the source of the synthesizer. Once again, I'm Caleb Lewis from New York in the US. Thanks for watching, and good luck on the final, guys.